Who is your hero, my friends? There are a hero's journey in all of us. I happen to be obsessed with movies about the hero's journey, and I know they're cheesy, but I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna tell you not only my story of a hero's journey, but also break down, and you can tell yours after this video. All right, let's break down what is a hero's journey. We got the character. The character then has a problem. He then finds a guide that helps him determine, hey, this is the path that you need to take. What does the hero do? He doesn't know if he wants to take that. He gets a little nervous. He has to get either a padre or a companion or somebody to go along that journey with him. He either goes for success or he goes for failure. Obviously, I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy, but Frodo Baggins has his Sam, and they go to the big old mountain and they throw the ring in, and it's, it's do or die, right? One of my favorite movies, though, is The Greatest Game Ever Played. Shia LaBeouf plays an amateur golfer, and Francis we met. He is an amateur that is told his whole life from his dad and everybody around him that he will never amount to much, that he will never be on the country club golf course or that status. He ends up winning that US Open, and there's a moment there that my wife makes fun of me every flipping time I watch it because I get a little teary-eyed, because if you're a golfer, you know exactly which moment I'm talking about. He wins it, and his dad comes up and gives him $2. That's cool. That's a hero's journey. I'm gonna break down how you can tell your hero's journey. The character is going to be you, and I'm gonna use my story to model after yours. If you're gonna be a true salesman, a mortgage broker, a real estate agent, I don't care if you're in sales, you have to be able to tell your story within a quick elevator pitch. Here's mine, and I'm gonna tell you. It's a quick elevator pitch, but I can drag it out as long as I want and go as short as I want. The basic is this. I'm an Idaho boy, grew up in Southeast Idaho where the potato farms grow. I moved to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, not knowing a soul with my wife. We then established our family here, and because I am a mortgage lender and lended across the whole entire state, I want to take the programs and products that I know and allow you to be empowered to own a home. It's a quick elevator pitch, and as you can see, I condensed it. Depends on where the vibe is, but let's break down the real meat and potatoes of my hero's journey. So this is how it really starts, and I'm gonna get vulnerable today, and I'm gonna tell you, way back when I was a youngster, I struggled with dyslexia. I'm not very good at school. It was a challenge for me, but I was always creative. I was always adapting to the creativity because that's where I always went. I have a ridiculously amazing grandma that passed away that always got me into the creative space, always pushing me to draw and paint. And like many of you, we focus too much on what our peers have to say. So I always felt ashamed playing basketball and being the guy that paints and at home. I later learned that being creative was great. Fast forward in my life, it started with photography in college. I was about to fail a class, and I bought my first camera with actually the money I set aside for a ring that I thought I was gonna marry the girl, and lo and behold, I did not. So you go into a dark place there. That's part of what the hero's journey is, where he struggles for just a second, and then he has to grind his way out to find redemption, right? My wife came along. We scaled photography, we shot weddings, we did close to 30 weddings, 3 years in a row. Epic, lots of work. But then it got to a point where I wanted more, just like every hero wants more. I then focused and did a total paradigm shift and got into mortgage lending. Complete opposite of what I was doing before. I was a mortgage lender for a year. They offered me to transfer up here to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where I didn't know a soul. So part of that hero's journey, you can either succeed or fail. So we just did. There's only one thing, burn the ships, go to North Idaho, and do a complete full send. So we moved to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, no friends, no family, not really knowing anybody. And for the next year of my life, I just went to every single event, every single networking event, anything that I could go and meet someone that was like-minded like me, I was there. Megan was also working. Everything falls into place. Just like in a hero's journey in most movies that we talk about, there's this stretch where everything seems to be working. And I love when they make sequels because the sequels don't match up to the first story. You ever wonder why? It's because the first story of the hero was so invested in you and you're so invested in them that when on the second story, it's like, cool, they have already found success. They already know how to make success. And that's why I want to hopefully help you get your elevator pitch and your story condensed to where when you pitch it or when you're selling, you can make it a little bit better. So how do you condense your hero's story? 1, identify the problem that you overcame. 2, figure out who the guide or steward that you had in your life that helped you get there. And then 3, talk about that vulnerable state where you're either gonna go this way or you're going to succeed. People relate to that. They wanna hear your story. If you're not telling your story and not relating to people, then you're just a salesman that's just reading a script and you're not gonna make the sales that you need to make. In the door-to-door world, it's crucial because they wanna know who you are really quick. In the lending world, you may have a 30-minute span where you're talking about everything and you gotta interject a little bit of yourself in there. You can't always be fighting questions. I can't always just jump in there and be like, so what's your income? Where did you work? How did you do that? You need to make it relatable. Yeah, I remember. I used to frame houses for a summer. I used to do this. You need to tell a little bit of your story so that you can become relatable. That concludes this video of the hero's journey. We broke down what the hero's journey is. We told you how you can tell your own hero's journey and inject that into your sales throughout the day. Just remember, as you do that, your relationships will grow, your referrals will grow, and your business is gonna grow. So tell your story, learn how to tell your story, and do it well. Until next time, my friends.